Hi, my name is Charlotte Calderon. Growing up, I was familiar with the gospel and my parents read me the Bible almost every night. I grew up going to Grace Church, but went to church just to see my friends and didn't really enjoy the lessons. A few years later, we had to move and started attending a different church. There, I deceived myself thinking I had put my faith in God. I told myself that I was a Christian, but I knew I wasn't. I was still taking communion and calling myself a Christian, but I knew I was living a lie. Thankfully, my family decided to come back to GCC. Not long after this, I started to go to junior high and began to learn a lot about God and His Word. I started to think about my life and started to be aware of my sin. One night, as my dad prayed for dinner, he asked God to forgive him for our daily sins. When my dad finished praying, I was crying and told him I was convicted of my sins. He told me that God can forgive my sins through Jesus Christ because He paid for my sins once and for all on the cross. I asked Jesus to forgive me and felt relief that my sins were forgiven. And that was when I became saved. From that day, I have lived my life in faith in Jesus who died for me. Now I enjoy reading my Bible and going to church. I love learning more about God through His Word. And I am so thankful that God would save a sinner like me by His grace. Ephesians 2:8-9 says, "For by grace you have been saved through faith, and that not of yourselves, it is the gift of God, not as a result of works, so that no one may boast." I just want to thank my leaders for being so patient with me and leading me to the Lord. They have been so supportive and encouraging me. I am here tonight to obey Jesus. He commanded me to get baptized tonight.
Charlotte, let's go this way. Charlotte, thank you so much for your clear testimony. You've been such a joy to have in junior high. I've loved answering all your questions about the Bible, and it truly is a joy for me tonight to baptize you in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.